what happens to the Republican Party no matter what?
You know, I go back and forth, as I think a lot of people do, between being very frightened by what we're hearing and by the delegitimizing of democratic institutions and processes itself, which is very disturbing, against, you know, a history in this country of enormous resilience. And so I, you know, being an optimist by nature, I have to hope that part of what has been driving the passion about this year. And it's fascinating that you have the two most, you know, unpopular candidates ever who are the candidates in the most watched race ever. It isn't the people who've tuned out. They've actually dug in to follow this more closely than they ever have. And I think some part of that reflects a real desire on people's part to figure out how we move forward as a country and feeling like our institutions, at least at a national level, are not working. And the willingness to entertain the idea of a radical change in direction with a radically different kind of candidate is partly a reflection of feeling like somebody has to just, you know, start over. And so where I take a certain amount of hope is that at the local level, in a lot of towns and cities, in local governance, there's a lot of innovation, there's a lot of creativity, that there may need to be, no matter what the outcome is, a kind of welling up of new solutions and new approaches to governance, because there's despair on both sides about, you know, a culture of no that has made it much easier to keep things from happening than to make things happen. And that is a bipartisan spirit of discouragement. When we did a poll about this election last week, the overwhelming feeling among Democrats and Republicans was disappointment. They want to see something that works. And so I am hoping that actually motivates us to figure out a solution that is not just burn the house down after this is over.
Nina, what would you say about that?
Well, I would say, just in terms of the future of the Republican Party, keep in mind that right after the 2012 election, the RNC and Reince Priebus came out with this, you know, looking back at what happened when Mitt Romney lost, to say it was a look back and said, you know, we actually have to expand the tent demographically. We have to appeal more to women. We have to appeal more to Hispanics. And I still think that that's where the party is. The party needs to expand demographically. The demographics are running against the party. So I think I think the Republican Party nationally right now is in a real danger zone. I would remind you, however, that at the state level, the Republican Party is thriving. I mean, most governors are Republican. Republicans have a trifecta, meaning, you know, controlling both houses, both chambers in states and the governor in an enormous number of states. And I think Democrats, it's only 7 states. So they're thriving on a state level. But for Republicans to win nationally, you've got to go back to that post-2012 look back and make the party a winning party nationally.
We just have to wait and see what happens, as they say.